All right, welcome to my training session and happy 4th of July 2026. This session was having like a lot of high hopes and ended up not living up to the hype. So it was kind of a bummer, but I'm not going to let it get to me. I did what I could. There was a couple positives, and then we're going to rest and hopefully come back next week and have a good week next week. I had a deload all week, so I lifted Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday. And all those sessions were like a deload, so they were a little bit lighter, a little bit less volume. But I feel like it left me today feeling a little bit still like I was in like deload mode. Body still felt like a little tired, felt like I didn't have the pop that I usually have. Is the best way to describe it. But yeah, it is what it is. You'll see pretty soon what happens. Right here is just showing my barbell warm-up. I already did some general warm-up stuff before this, but then I hopped on the bar, kind of sat down in the squat, rocked around, let my ankles get loose. Then I did some snatch balances, trying to settle in the bottom, and then some SOTS press. This really helps warm up my receiving position. Today's lifts are snatch plus 2 overhead squats. My goal on this was to build up to something pretty heavy. This was my first set here at 43 kilos or 95 pounds. Just warming up, felt pretty easy. But then come to find out, ended up feeling pretty hard near when my body stopped wanting to get under the bar. This set, the next set here was 53 kilos, 115 pounds, still felt pretty easy. And I'm lifting here today with Ryan, who's also part of the weightlifting here and is doing the same meet I am in 2 weeks. This next set here was 45 on each side, so 62 kilos, 135 pounds. Once again, still felt pretty good. Overall, I wasn't feeling too bad. After this weight is usually when I do a little bit smaller jumps. Good. Snatch was feeling good. Squats were feeling good. And this was the last set that I make, which is kind of pathetic, but this is 66 kilos, 145 pounds. It didn't feel bad, so I don't really know what happened, but after this I missed 70 kilos, and that's 155 pounds, and it's lower than my openers. I've been opening around 73, 74 kilos, so to miss 70 like 5 times is kind of crazy, especially when you're 2 weeks out. But I think my body honestly is still just kind of like in a deload mode. I need to wake it up again. Hopefully this will wake it up, and next week I'll be back to my normal self. Such a bummer. I even had the singlet on. I was like planning to build up to a DPR, and then I couldn't even hit my opener today, which is kind of crazy. So I'm not gonna sweat it. I know, like literally just like a couple weeks ago I did 80 kilos. Actually, it wasn't even a couple weeks ago, it was a week ago. I did 80 kilos, 175 pounds, which matches my PR. So I know it's in there. I was just hoping to go for 82 today. But yeah, I was like so baffled. And then I just decided to move on to clean and jerks. Clean and jerks felt a little better, but not by much. This was my first set. It was supposed to be clean plus a front squat plus a jerk, but based off how I was feeling, I took out the front squat after the first couple sets and just did the clean and jerk. I went from 62 kilos up to 75 kilos for this set here. And the cleans were feeling okay, but not great, and the jerks were feeling pretty solid. This set was at 84 kilos, 185 pounds. That clean was feeling pretty solid. Got my feet set. Got my jerk position ready. Honestly, the jerks were feeling pretty good. It was just the cleans. Like, I don't know if my legs are still tired or what, but something felt a little off in the snatch and the cleans today. Hopefully they just need to wake up and I'll be feeling good again on Monday. And then this was my last set here, 93 kilos, 205. The rhythm felt a little off on the clean. So I had to sit down there for a second, get the rack solid, stand it up. But the jerk felt pretty easy. And then I went for 225, 102 kilos, which is about my opener. And just kind of didn't rack it. And then moved on from here. So rhythm was feeling off, body was feeling off, wasn't really making lifts in the snatch and clean and jerk. I basically didn't even make my openers, which is kind of crazy considering I was doing like EMOMs with them a week ago. Last Saturday I hit, well above what I was expecting to do. So it was kind of crazy to hit a deload and then have this happen to me. But the bright spots here was I had heavy clean deadlift doubles. And I haven't hit some big clean deadlifts in probably a really long time, actually. But I think this one right here is 325 pounds for 2 reps. And that was feeling really solid. So I went up again. And my top set was right here. Should be 170 kilos, 375 pounds. 2 clean deadlift doubles. That first rep, for some reason, my right hand stayed hook gripped, and then my left let go, so it looked kind of like it jerked my right arm a little bit. For some reason, I just didn't let go with that arm at the same time. But it didn't hurt or anything, so I just went right back to the bar, did my second rep. And I was very happy with this lift, which was nice to hit something to be proud of today. And then from there, I just did a couple accessory movements. This is a banded overhead tricep extension. I feel like this has helped not only train my triceps and my overhead position, but also kind of stretch out my upper back. One of my weaknesses is probably my mobility in my upper back and my hips. So doing stuff like this definitely is beneficial for me. I did 10 reps with the blue band, focused on just holding that extension overhead, trying to lock it out, get that mid-back opened up. And then I supersetted this with 8 on each leg, single leg Romanian deadlifts. It's kind of light, but I just did some heavy clean deadlifts, and I do other things throughout the week. So for me, it's more about training the stability and the balancing from one leg to the other. It's not really about pushing it super heavy on this movement. I did a couple rounds of this, but I just filmed one round because it's kind of the boring stuff. And then I stopped there for today. So overall, it was kind of a bummer session. I was hoping to hit some big lifts. The goal was to maybe get some new PRs. After the deload week, I feel like my body just needs to wake up a little bit more. So hopefully today was a wake-up call. Next week, hopefully I'm firing on all cylinders. And tomorrow will be 2 weeks out from Bay State games, where I'm hoping to hit some pretty big lifts and get a PR total. So if you tuned in and joined, thank you for joining. And hopefully you'll see some good lifts coming soon. Peace.